Hello and welcome to Untwisted Threads. It's Socktober! I'm going to admit, until last year, I didn't know that this was a thing, but I actually love it. I haven't knit a ton of socks in my almost 5 years of knitting, but this month I'm feeling inspired to change that. Fun fact, I've only ever finished 1.5 pairs of socks for myself. I ran out of yarn for the second one and I just left it hanging by a literal thread. Now, my husband is the real hand-knitted sock lover around here, and the reason I gave sock knitting a try in the first place. You've been asking, and Socktober felt like the perfect time for us to share a roundup of some of our favorite sock yarns, a mix of rustic and cozy soft classics. All of their individual yarn reviews, as well as the blog post for today's roundup and links to shop, are listed in the description. Most of these are fingering weights, but we'll include a few DK weight ones at the end. One thing I do want to mention is that most sock yarns include a small percentage of nylon, usually around 20 to 25, and for a good reason. While wool gives socks warmth, breathability, and elasticity, nylon adds the strength they need to handle regular wear and washing. It helps prevent holes, keeps your stitches looking neat, and gives that yarn a little more stretch recovery so your socks will hold their shape over time. So if you see nylon in a blend, it's there to make your handmade socks last longer without taking away from the cozy, woolly feel that we all love. Now let's get into the 14 yarns. I thought it'd be fun to go from the most rustic to saving the best for last, the softest sock yarns that we've reviewed so far. First, we have 2 yarns that felt quite similar, Shock and Buy Regia 4-ply and Drops Fable. We gave them a 3.6 out of 5 for softness. Unfortunately, they were a bit too rustic for my sensitive skin to comfortably work with, but if you love a classic woolly feel and don't mind a little texture, these could be great options to try. They both are known for their durability and reliable performance, and Drops Fable especially stands out as one of the most budget-friendly sock yarns available, making it a solid contender for your first few pair of socks. Next up is Patton's Croy sock, which leans a little thicker than your typical fingering weight and earned a 3.7 out of 5 softness rating, which for reference is my personal tolerance level. It's probably one of the most accessible sock yarns here in the United States, as you can find it at Michael's, which makes it an easy choice for last-minute project inspiration. I've actually used this one held double to make 3 pairs of gifted socks, and it's held up beautifully. It's woolly, cozy, and dependable, perfect for everyday wear. The next 3 yarns earned a 3.9 out of 5 softness rating. Starting with Lang Yarns Yoel. I'll be honest, this one didn't stand out to me a ton, but I still had a pretty good experience working with it. It has a smooth, balanced feel and knits up beautifully, especially for classic socks. One unique feature that really impressed me is that each of their skeins come with an extra spool of reinforcing thread for your heels and toes. Such a thoughtful touch that adds an extra durability without having to buy anything separately. Next is Santa's Garn Sisu, a classic Norwegian yarn that's often used for socks, but I actually used mine for a cardigan instead. Unfortunately, that project didn't quite work out and I ended up frogging it, but it still gave me a good feel for the yarn. It has a smooth, sturdy texture with a traditional wool feel, making it a great choice for color work or, of course, durable everyday socks. And the third has proudly won Best Sock Yarn at the British Knitting and Crochet Awards for several years running, West Yorkshire Spinner's Signature 4-ply. It's my top pick for a rustic yet soft sock yarn. The addition of the Blueface Leicester wool gives it that signature blend of strength, sheen, and gentle texture that feels truly special. Even with my sensitive skin, I found it comfortable to work with, and I think that I could even wear the finished socks myself. It comes in 100-gram skeins, both solid and pattern colorways, including some beautiful festive options around Christmas. At around $18.50 a skein, it's on the higher end price point, but the quality and character of this yarn make it absolutely worth it. Now for my favorite, let's get into the soft merino sock yarns. Starting with Filcolana Arwetta and Cascade Yarns Heritage, 2 yarns that are remarkably comparable in quality. Both earned a 4.4 out of 5 for softness, making them comfortable choices for a variety of projects. While they each offer very different color palettes, I'd be happy to use them interchangeably depending on the look I'm going for. Their price points are also quite similar, though accessibility varies. Heritage is more widely available in the United States and also comes in a 100-gram skein. Personally, I've knit a sweater and socks with Heritage and found it to perform beautifully, so I'd expect our Weta to be just as reliable for similar projects. Next, we have a slightly more luxurious option for socks, Drops Nord. It blends in a touch of alpaca for extra softness and earned a 4.5 out of 5 softness rating. While I haven't knit socks with it personally, I've used it in 2 Colorwork sweaters holding it double. Its soft, fuzzy halo gives finished pieces a wonderfully cozy, luxurious look, making even simple socks feel indulgent and special. If you want a pair of socks that look as cozy as they feel to the touch, this one is definitely a standout choice. Next is Scabier's Metropolis, a yarn I've rarely seen recommended in all of my years of reviewing. I've only heard one person mention it on social media. It earned a 4.6 out of 5 for softness, making it wonderfully comfortable to work with. Finally, for the last 2 fingering weight yarns, both from Knit Picks, we have Melisas and Stroll, both earning a 4.7 out of 5 for softness. Melisas is fairly new with a small color selection, but comes in convenient 100 gram skeins. During our stress test, we noticed it pilled quite a lot, though it could still be a nice option for socks. But my personal favorite, however, is Knit Picks Stroll. My first pair of gifted socks were knit with Stroll in the tweed version, and while we've heard mixed reviews on its long-term durability and pilling, its softness is simply unmatched. Yes, I did make a pair of baby socks with it too, but I don't recommend using the tweed version as it can be a choking hazard. For more about that, you can watch our All About Baby Knits video. But Stroll does have a regular version without the tweed flex that I highly recommend you checking out. Now you could use any of these socks held double to create a DK weight like I have a couple of times, but sometimes it's just easier knitting with one strand of DK weight yarn. Honestly, I like to think of a DK weight as my perfect gauge. It's not too thin, not too thick, and it knits up fairly quickly, especially for a pair of socks. So here are 2 DK weight yarns with nylon content, perfect for a pair of long-wearing socks. First up is Drops Fiesta, and honestly, it completely blew me away. From skein to blocking, it transformed so beautifully. It earned a 4.2 out of 5 for softness, and I already have a little stash set aside for the socks that I have planned to knit with this yarn. It was only released last fall, so colors are fairly limited, but I'm excited to see more hopefully in the future. Though it is a little bit harder to find in the United States, it's definitely an underrated gem. And lastly, for our sock yarns roundup, we have the brand new Sorella Yarns home collection, which we'll be restocking very soon. This yarn comes in 20 curated colors and 100 gram skeins, and while Sorella is known for their hand-dyed yarns, this is their new in-house yarn collection released in August. Well, that wraps up our 14 Socktober yarn recommendations. I'm so excited to make more socks in my near future. If you've tried any of the yarns we mentioned today, or if you have a favorite sock yarn that you think we need to try next, let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. Thank you so much for watching, and happy Socktober!